The Western Line. Zones. Zone 13. The tours surrounding Pew Tour. Overview. Tours and features. Welcome to the zone videos for the Western Line of Dartmoor. The 13th zone is the tours surrounding Pew Tour to the west of the Western Line. It consists of these tours: rocks, crags and hills, the Pimple, Saddle Rock, Heckwood Tor, Little Heckwood Tor, Pew Tor and Sandford Tor. Best approach and route. This zone is closest to the town of Tavistock, west of Dartmoor National Park. To hike this zone, leave Tavistock east from either the Mount Tavy Road B3357 or leave from near Greenland's estate in Tavistock, passing the golf links grounds along the Dartmoor Way. From here you can begin to navigate. Feature 123, the Pimple at 173 metres. In the town of Tavistock, make your way to the east side, preferably up Down Road to the top where the golf links grounds begin. There is a large down here, on the edge of Dartmoor, primarily used by the golfers, although it is mostly walkable. To your immediate right, once you reach the top of Down Road, is a small conical hill with what looks like a shed on it that rises sharply a few metres above the surrounding downs. This is the Pimple, and the triangular-based stone hut atop the hill is actually the now closed-off access entrance to an underground reservoir. Photos of the interior can be found online. This reservoir used to supply several blocks of houses at the top of Down Road when it was in operation. Now it has been rendered redundant. The hut is now lined with benches and, although not impressively high, is the best lookout point in Tavistock, providing views out to the west over the town and cricket grounds, and to the east over Dartmoor towards Pew Tor and Merivale, with Cox Tor in particular being a striking broad feature. Sheep and ponies come to graze here, and the near roads to the west meet at a five-pointed star-shaped crossroads. The North Road, going to join the Mount Tavy Road to Merivale, the East Road continuing to Plasterdown and Horrobridge or Pew Tor, and the South East Road going to Shortsdown and Plasterdown's westernmost corner. Feature 127, Pew Tor at 330 metres. Leaving Tavistock east from Greenland's estate or Down Road, then following the road over the golf links, you come to the five-pointed star crossroads. Take the second left exit onto the 274 road, which makes up part of the Dartmoor Way, and continue on to the next staggered crossroads at Warren's Cross. Continue on forward here, down a road high-walled on either side for a short stretch, that then opens out onto another large down called Plasterdown, which is not the Tavistock golf links. You may see Pew Tor rising up nearby to your left now, a ferny hill encrusted by high towering rocks at the summit. The approach road you're on narrows to one car width, and despite the flat-looking downs either side, the raised lip may make overtaking on the grass difficult. In a short time this road meets a left-hand turn where a farmer's hedge corners beside the road. Take this left turn off and find a bumpy bay to your right to begin the walk. Your first job will be finding a crossing place to jump over the Grimstone and Saltridge Leat waterway, and there are a couple of short clapper bridges in some locations to make this easier. The hill after that may look gradual, but ascends steeply in some places, testing your lungs. It is worth the push up to the top though, as you are greeted by a crown of very tall granite rocks and boulders, a great play area for climbing, and with views off the other side facing Merivale area and Dartmoor, particularly across to neighbouring Cox Tor. Pew Tor is the closest tor to Tavistock town. On the same ridge as Pew Tor is its lesser sibling, Samford Tor, which is just a short walk from the top. Also a short walk to the north is a little quarry, and to the east, the Heckwood Tors. Feature 125, Samford Tor, at 290 metres. Get yourself to Pew Tor as per this guide. Samford Tor is only a short walk along the top of the same hill, to the south of Pew Tor summit. It has some small rocks at the top, and some views over the small hamlet of Samford Spiney to the south. Down in the valley to the east and south here are 3 private tors on owned land, Dual Rock, Hustler Tor, and Stonycroft Rocks, which I will not cover in this guide. Again at the top of Samford Tor, an interesting feature to explore is its water-filled quarry, larger than that of Pew Tor's itself, over a few metres downhill to the west. Feature 126, Little Heckwood Tor, at 321 metres. Placing yourself at Pew Tor, head downhill to the northeast along the main track you see amongst the grass. This passes you through a positively bony looking field where old gorse has been swaled, and there are white rocks in places. It is a little difficult to navigate here to differentiate between the 2 Heckwood Tors, so I will say this. Little Heckwood Tor appears first on the right, but it is hard to see and has small rocks. The curve of the hill hides it from you, so it is best to come off the track to your right and explore. It lies between you and the farmer's wall. Return to the track when you're done for the ease of this guide, or head northeast to find the larger sibling, Heckwood Tor. Feature 127, Heckwood Tor, at 321 metres. I have outlined some of the difficulties in differentiating Heckwood Tor and its smaller co-tor. While larger in terms of the amount of rocks, Heckwood is again another small tor, but its placement affords it slightly better landmarks than Little Heckwood Tor. Heckwood Tor, the larger, is on more of a ridge, overlooking a dip between it and Vixen Tor, in which lies a bog area, which is a difficult obstacle to its north. That is why it is better approached not from Vixen Tor, but from Pew Tor in the south, or from the track to its west. Taking the main track from Pew Tor, northeast, and ignoring Little Heckwood Tor if you can, come off the track later before it bends left to face Feather Tor. This bend is a useful landmark to leave the track at, to your right, which is east. This should place you at the base of the spine of rock clusters of Heckwood Tor, which continues until the farmer's wall. There are views from here toward Vixen Tor, and out towards Feather Tor and Barn Hill. Feature 128, Saddle Rock, at 317 metres. Of course, this guide will be skipping private tors, of which there are 3 more in this area: Rouge Tor, Little Vixen Tor, and of course the elephant in the room, Vixen Tor. This latter tor is the most impressive tor in this region, but is unfortunately completely unreachable and off bounds, as it is a privately owned tor and should never be accessed by public. A true case of look but don't touch. It is walled off, with a landowner living in the valley, but can be viewed from many spots around it, and is a monumental towering rock stack of granite, its base set lower than all the tors around it. That said, it has a very small sibling tor that is half embedded in the wall to the north side, Saddle Rock, which you can visit and interact with, preferably by driving the Mount Tavy Road B3357 out of Tavistock, ascending Pork Hill or Barn Hill through the cattle grid, passing Cox Tor and the Staple Tors, then parking up as soon as possible before the road descends down the valley into Merivale. From a bay in this location, leave the road heading south over fair terrain to the wall that encircles Vixen Tor, and embedded in the wall, barely visibly but a small affair, are the few boulders of Saddle Rock, the half-public accessible tor. Additional notes and firing ranges. None of these tors lie on any of the firing ranges, but beware the golfers near the Pimple.